This first poem is set in Santiago, Chile. It's called A Kiss. I was down to the stub of my last cigarette, with the sun a dipping disc behind an office block, thinking of a girl last week, figuring a next move, and from opposite sides of Parque Metropolitano, the couple closed on each other with the urgency of a parent reunited with a missing child. I watched her eyelids crinkle as the space between their lips diminished. On touch, her shoulders slackening in his arms, as if he'd loosened something in her. All the while his face crept with the branching shadows of some great tree. Except he knew none of this, since he too was in a rapture, her fingers disappearing through his hair. The sun bathed him in light for just that moment, and as they shrank entwined into the distance, something was unpacking in me. I knew then that couple would cost me, that I would be years ghosting in and out of lives without striking their seam of gold. Thank you. It's lovely to be here and reading as part of Cork International Poetry Festival, and thanks to the Munster Literature Centre for the invitation to read. There have been a lot of poems written about the joys of parenthood, and this next poem is not one of those. The narrator in the poem is a mother, and the title is The Shroud, which is an oblique reference to the Shroud of Turin, which bears the image of a man, allegedly Jesus of Nazareth. The Shroud. What the boy draws happens. He sketched an orange this afternoon. Nice still life, I thought, until the winter sky spawned a vermilion moon. On his bedside locker this morning, a jungled scene. When I saw the stems that the geraniums had sprouted over lunch, the glass in my hand smashed on the tiles. Later, a back leg snapped off my chair, and I scalded myself with tea. A fist of paper in his wastebasket smoothed it to reveal 3 tall S's rising from a mug on a 3-legged seat. I confiscated every sketch pad and page, pencil, crayon and pen in the house. Not an hour after, I found him working a nugget of coal across my best blouse. Seeing me, he dropped it onto a face. You can't imagine how tightly I grip the banister whenever I descend stairs. My anxiety at the line of light under his bedroom door. Truly, I dread the holidays. Thank you. About 20 years ago, I left the family farm in County Kildare and went to university, trading one form of learning for another. The next poem explores the intersection between old and new forms of knowledge. And the title is Simplex number 15,604, which some of you recognise as the easier of the Irish Times crosswords. The countryside flashes past in a blaze of branches and Frisians roaming trackside fields as I turn another page in the week-old newspaper, retrospective reading, my latest phase. Opposite exactitudes of high tides and moon times, crossword of the day, 10 clues ticked off already. In rows and ladders of words, his capital letters. But my father doesn't do crosswords. He drives stakes to darker earth with blows from a sledge, splits logs without care for sharpening an axe, pulls sheep double their field weight from ditches. I stare again, finding it hard to acknowledge. 10 across, piece of luggage, suitcase, the U sturdy as a 2-pronged pitchfork. No surprise he didn't get Greek god of the west wind, or mythical sister with snakes for hair. But how the hell did he miss 25 down? Loud cry of a bull. I take up a pen, 19 down, expanse of scenery. Landscape I enter, intercepting his N of never, S of strap, E of weeded. The white cells fill with letters, though I never finish. Outside the streaking green slows to a stop. Folding the pages in on themselves, I change trains at Limerick Junction and see I've missed my mother's call. Our carriage rolls back, jolts forward, on to 4 years of higher learning. Still it stuns me. How he didn't get the loud cry of a bull, I'll never know. Thank you. So that is Bellow, of course, the loud cry of a bull. So I'll read two more poems just to finish. The worst time of the year to break up with someone is probably in December, and it's silly season has descended on us. Everyone's in the Christmas jumpers doing the 12 pubs and so on. And the worst year to break up with somebody is possibly at the height of a recession. So to combine December and a recessionary year, we could say you've got pretty bad timing. This is called the lean season. Harsh light in the bedroom, as you recall a morning months before, when we watched shadows blowing across walls. Nothing now except the rigging of branches. Our bed hums with trains on tracks, the wooden trundle of rowers' sails that pinch and pull on water. Another 1st of December, and for weeks my silence has been exposing us. We rise to unmanned cranes against the sky, talk of the sailing city, and again the undertow. We needed light slanting across moving grasses, not sirens wailing past the shuttered dust of shut-down restaurants and walls thinned with broken glass, above pigeon-side slates of converted churches where first flakes tumble into the brewery air. They blink on chimney pots, dissolve like horses on the Liffey's tongue, yet given time, even the spikes on railings have succumbed. On the corridors of midnight streets, a gallery of lives in great buildings, a man with his hands as if in prayer, a couple quarrelling in the kitchen, their mouths opening fresh wounds in their faces. Taillights trail backwards like a rosary on quay walls, laughter boomerangs from pub doorways swinging shut, and I lost as the hooded youths on the corner. At the centre, I turn for home, realising it has never snowed in my dreams. So just like to say thanks again to James for the introduction, and to Patrick Potter and the Munster Literature Centre for the opportunity to read, and hope you all enjoy the rest of the festival. So this last poem is set in Japan, on the island of Shikoku in Japan, which has the world famous 99 Shrines trek. It's kind of like a Japanese Camino. I lived in Japan for 2 years, and one of the things you do not do in Japan is camp illegally. So anyway, this is called Shikoku. Remember the night we camped in a grove, me crashing through the undergrowth, and you within touching distance, staring backward glances down our trail. Remember how softly the ground detonated under our feet in that clearing, our tent on its bed of leaves, the clinking and clanking of the swaying bamboo, and are you sure this is okay? I'll never forget you falling to sleep within minutes, leaving me in silence, where winged insects put it into my thoughts, and I fretted over the scraping against our shell until discovering your eyelash twitching as you slept. My head pumped with my heartbeat, and when slots of light flared across our walls, I feared search beams seeking us out, and it was just a truck nosing down the pass. Remember those globes of dew, how they clung on to their grassy blades, our tent coming down like origami. And as bags went on backs, remember you asked how I'd slept last night, and I replied, like a baby, well, I lied. Thank you.